Pelinal Whitestrake, the divine spirit said to be an aspect of Larkon, the scourge of the elves that conquered all of Tamriel in his era. He is known as being an enemy to any and all elves, and he would make it a point of killing the mighty elvish sorcerers. I will break down the scope of his godlike power in this video, starting with his abilities and equipment. Being a legendary figure of the Elder Scrolls universe, Whitestrake has a wide arsenal of powerful abilities, but most unique to him is his Madness Rage. Min OG, an ancient race who are no more, once asked Whitestrake what it was like to go into madness. He replied, like when the dream no longer needs a dreamer. These fits of anger and nonsense that Pelinal would fall into, the madness where whole swaths of lands were devoured in his divine rampage to become void. And Elisa would have to pray to the gods for their scur, and they would reach down as one mind and soothe Whitestrake until he no longer had the will to kill the earth as a whole. So when Whitestrake enters a state of madness, he detaches himself from the Godhead and ceases to exist, yet his will is carried out via his intense rage, and he erases all out of existence into the void until his lover can calm him down and call upon the gods to soothe his will to kill. Basically, it's his versus of Kain, but for pure destruction and erasure. His armor is known as the Crusader Relics. They are the Aedric artifacts created by the Divines. It consists of heavy armor with chainmail underneath the armor, a shield, a mace, and a long sword. Notably, the helm of the Crusader enhances speech and illusion. The cuirass of the Crusader enhances durability and life force. Boots of the Crusader calms animals. His mace deals holy damage, can cause fear in his enemy, and turn you to undead. The shield, the magical shield, reflects attacks on the enemy. The gauntlet enhances his healing magic and grants resistance to disease. The Grievous enhances destructive power and grants magical protection. The sword is also enchanted with flame and drains magic. Basically, his equipment is filled with divinely enchanted artifacts that show he's not only versed in pure fighting, but also the school of destruction and healing, similar to a battle mage. Whitestrake would claim his armor was from the future, which tracks because after biting the neck of his enemy, he once said, "Praise to remain," the name of a future ruler of Cyrodiil. Now, attack potency. Whitestrake is one of the most powerful heroes to ever live, defeating entire armies of elites who could do nothing to penetrate his armor. Whitestrake would often challenge and defeat Elliot sorcerer kings, some of the most magically gifted beings possibly ever, who have knowledge of creation or dawn magic to kill them. They were so powerful, they created the El Agavar, a massive realm filled with nebula and the Golden Path walkways. While he came back, Whitestrake ultimately defeated Umriel the Unfeathered, the most powerful sorcerer king, after being weakened by his soldiers who had weapons specifically created to penetrate Whitestrake's armor. Umriel was immensely powerful, with knowledge of cosmic magic long forgotten, above heroes like the champion of Cyrodiil, who defeated Mannimarco, who should have been no weaker than he was as a student of the Sigic Order, who was easily above the likes of Vanis Galaric, who destroyed the Great Shackles, an artifact that could physically bind two planes together. It was used to help merge the infinite dimension of Cold Harbor and the world of Nirn. Stronger than the elite sorcerer king Samriel Lightbringer, who is connected to the Abyss, an infinite realm of dungeons containing anything seen and known, even dragons. Now, with the power of madness, he unlocks power free from the Godhead, like a purely destructive version of Kain that can erase even history and almost all things without limit. So, overall skill, attack potency, multi-solar system universal, comparable to the strongest of mages who can create massive dimension fields with stars. High hyperversal, immensely superior to the likes of the champion of Cyrodiil before he became Sheogorath. High hyperversal, high outerversal. With his mace, he casually cracked the floor of the White Goat Tower. The White Goat Tower is an echo of the Ur Tower, the first object of our reality the gods created. Is one of the axes of creation. It's also believed that the White Goat Tower keeps Mundus from dissolving back into oblivion. The power of madness gives him power near that of the Godhead. That is beyond Mundus and the infinite dimensions inside of it, beyond the gods and the Daedric lords, beyond Ethris, an infinite realm that encompasses both Mundus and infinite oblivion. And that's it. Tell me your thoughts in the comments and remember to like, sub, and hit the bell. Later. Now, I usually stop there, but I had a few thoughts after research. There is some mention about hand of light, like shooting lasers or something, but was not sure how to incorporate that into his madness. I thought that he would focus his madness on elves, but not only elves, but anything at all in his way would get wiped out until he calmed down. Even his allies were in fear, and the gods were disgusted. His sexuality is often a point of discussion. The writer said he was made to be ambiguous. What I found interesting was his would-be lover is actually barely mentioned at all. Now, his death caused his first madness, which means he's died very early on. I think that awesome animated short made me think Huna died probably near the end. My take is either he's bi or it's an Achilles situation where they were likely just friends and people went nah. Being upset that your friend died is gay. Origin. It is said that Pelinal emerged into Nirn like a potomac, carried by Sithis and all forces of change, described by Moras as an Ada or spirit. Pelinal plays the same role as a long line of avatars sent by Shizar, the champion, the cause of mankind, and stop the elves from destroying them. Pelinal, however, is an exception, as he exhibits a significant bond to Akatosh as well, as he had the Amulet of Kings in his chest, in place of his heart. Whitestrake has a strong connections and metaphors to Akatosh and Larkon, and his heart is definitely a reference to Larkon having his heart removed.